Hello and welcome once again to A River Between Chaos and Zen, the poetry podcast from Creative Actors Lab. My name is Max, and Kelly, as always, sends her love. And I wanted to share something. There's this wonderful site on the internet that I love so much. It's called the Gutenberg Project. And they had these very, very old books from forever ago, and they've restored them and digitized them and put them online and everything like that. And I found a thing that I just love. It's Robert Louis Stevenson, A Child's Garden of Verses, and it looks like it was published originally in about 1905. And I started reading this, and it really captured my heart, because this is this sort of a thing that I can actually remember my grandmother would read to me, at night to get me to simmer down and go to sleep. But it brings up a lot of feelings, because it's like I can just a lot of us had rough childhoods, but I read this and I was like, you know what, there were some times in childhood that were actually pretty happy. And I think when you look back on your childhood, you have to remember it all, not just the difficult stuff, but the beautiful stuff, and you have to keep it in perspective. And I saw this, and I'll just briefly say, I remember being a little kid, and my parents put me to bed, and then there was a power outage in the whole entire neighborhood. And I got up out of bed, and my parents were at the front window, like the whole neighborhood was, in darkness, and the neighbors were all yelling across, going, "Hey, do you guys have lights?" "No, we don't have lights." And I'll never forget, I got out of bed, and my mom lit a candle. And I'll never forget, she took me by the hand, and we walked down through the very dark house, through the dark hallway to my bedroom, and she said, and I'll never forget, she said to me, "Come on, I'll light you to bed," were the words that she used. And I just remember her tucking me in bed with this white candle, and it was just the way I was laying in bed, and the way my mom was standing there, and the way the candle was, sort of doing the magical thing that candle flames do sometimes. And I just remember looking up at my mom and going, "You and I have known each other for a very long time, over very many lifetimes, and that's why we're together again." And I may not understand why, but we're not strangers. And I just can still remember her sitting next to me in bed during the power outage with the candle. And the way she looked, and the way her voice sounded. It was one of the most lovely, poetic memories I can think of from my childhood. But this is Robert Louis Stevenson. It was published in 1905, because I think my grandparents were born in the late 1800s, so they may have heard some things such as this when they were little ones. This is called Summer in Bed. In winter I get up at night and dress by yellow candlelight. In summer, quite the other way, I have to go to bed by day. I have to go to bed and see the birds still hopping on the tree, or hear the grown-up people's feet still going past me in the street. And it does not seem hard to you when all the sky is clear and blue, and I should like so much to play, but have to go to bed by day. At the seaside. When I was down beside the sea, a wooden spade they gave to me to dig the sandy shore. My holes were empty like a cup. In every hole the sea came up, till it could come no more. Young Night Thought. All night long and every night, when my mama puts out the light, I shall see people marching by as plain as day before my eye. Armies and emperors and kings all carrying different kinds of things and marching in so grand a way you never saw like by day. So fine a show was never seen, and the great circus on the green for every kind of beast and man is marching in that caravan. At first they move a little slow, but still the faster on they go, and still beside them close I keep until we reach the town of sleep. It's rain. The rain is raining all around. It falls on field and tree. It rains on umbrellas here and on the ships at sea. Pirate story. 3 of us afloat in the middle by the swing. 3 of us aboard in a basket on the lay. Winds are in the air. They are blowing in the spring, and waves are on the meadow, like the waves there are at sea. Where shall we adventure today that we're afloat, wary of the weather and steering by a star? Shall it be to Africa, or steering of the boat to Providence, or Babylon, or off to Malabar? Hi, but here's a squadron a-rowing on the sea, cattle on the meadow a-charging with a roar. Quick, and we'll escape them. They're mad as they can be. The wicket is the harbor, and the garden is the shore. Foreign lands. Up into the cherry tree, who should climb but little me? I held the trunk with both my hands and looked abroad on foreign lands. I saw the next door garden lie adorned with flowers before my eye, and many pleasant places more that I had never seen before. I saw the dimpling river pass and be the sky's blue looking glass, the dusty roads go up and down with people trampling into town. If I could find a higher tree, farther and farther I should see, to where the grown-up river slips into the sea among the ships, to where the roads on either hand lead onward into fairyland, where all the children dine at 5 and all the playthings come alive. And I would like to finish with one last one, if I may. This is called Windy Nights. Whenever the moon and the stars are set, whenever the wind is high, all night long in the dark and wet, a man goes riding by. Late in the night, when the fires are out, why does he gallop and gallop about? Whenever the trees are crying aloud and the ships are tossed at sea, by on the highway, low and loud, at the gallop goes he. By the gallop he goes, and then by he comes back. At the gallop again. Thank you. so much for listening. All you big and little kids out there, it's my pleasure to continue to educate myself, and I sincerely thank you all for coming along for the ride. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Until next time.